The title of today's class is If Heaven Can Be Measured, the Unbreakable Bond Between Israel and the Most High. We're going to start off with the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 37. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 37.
Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord.
Shalom, family. I'm Brother Jacob. Today we deal with the declaration from the Most High that dismantles doctrines, defends our destiny, and confirms our covenant. We are not forgotten. We are not cast away. And no matter what the nations say, Israel still matters. Let me say it again like a trumpet in Zion. Israel still matters. The Most High gave a divine condition. If heaven can be measured, then he will cast us off. But heaven cannot be measured. So what does that mean? We are still his chosen. Let us build this truth from the ground up with precepts. Israel is still here, despite captivity, colonization, and confusion. Let's jump to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 24 through 26. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 24 through 26.
Considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying, the two families which the Lord hath chosen, he hath even cast them off? Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. Thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them.
People say the Most High is finished with Israel. They say God loves everybody equally now. But the word says, they have despised my people, and he still calls them my people. Now let's jump to the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 1. The book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 1.
I say then, hath God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Paul destroys the lie. The covenant didn't change. The people fell, but the Father didn't cancel the promise. Let's go to the book of Baruch in the Apocrypha, chapter 2 and verse 30. The book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 30.
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves.
That's us, family. Waking up in the land of our enemies, coming back to the laws, statutes, and the covenant. Not Christianity, but covenant. The measureless heavens prove our immortal covenant. Moving on, let's go to the book of Job, chapter 38, verse 4 through 5. The book of Job, chapter 38, verse 4 through 5.
Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare, if thou hast understanding. Who hath laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest? Or who hath stretched the line upon it?
The Most High challenges man. Measure the heavens, search the depths, but man cannot. So neither can he break the covenant. Let's jump to the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 2. The book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 2.
Who can number the sand of the sea and the drops of rain in the days of eternity?
That's how secure Israel's future is, immeasurable. As long as raindrops fall and stars shine, the seed of Jacob stands. The covenant is blood sealed, not performance based. Moving on, we're going to go to the book of Genesis, chapter 17 and verse 7. The book of Genesis, chapter 17 and verse 7.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee.
Everlasting. Not until you mess up. Not until you sin. Everlasting. Let's read the book of Psalms, chapter 105, verse 8 through 10. The book of Psalms, chapter 105, verse 8 through 10.
He hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant.
If he remembered it forever, that includes now. Let's jump to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 58 through 59. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 58 through 59.
But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
This is our story, not theirs. The world was made for our sakes. Yes, we went off, but he still loves us. Moving on, we're going to go to the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 2. The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 2.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
He punished us because we're his. That's correction, not rejection. Let's jump to the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 7 through 8. The book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 7 through 8.
For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment. But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer.
A moment of wrath, a lifetime of love. That's the God we serve. Moving on, we're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 15 through 16. The book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 15 through 16.
Can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. Thy walls are continually before me.
Even mothers fail, but the Most High says, I will not forget thee. The world envies this choice, but can't erase it. Let's read the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 8 through 9. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 8 through 9.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
The nations exist around us, not above us. Now let's read the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 4. The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 4.
They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
They want to erase us, rebrand us, rename us, but they cannot remove us. Let's read the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1 through 5. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1 through 5.
Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, This was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot is among the saints?
Look, this awakening is not a game. It's prophecy in motion. The reason we're hated is because we're chosen. Let's jump to the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. Book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 9.
But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, an holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Chosen equals targeted. Priesthood equals persecuted, but also empowered. Moving forward, we're going to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, and verse 6. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, and verse 6.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above, not equal to. The Bible doesn't teach equality. It declares election. Our return will shock the earth, brothers and sisters. Let's go to the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 20. The book of Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 20.
At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you. For I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord.
There's a return coming, not a rapture, a regathering. Moving on, we're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1 through 2. The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1 through 2.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
This isn't just mercy. This is restoration with rulership. Moving forward, we're going to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 16 through 17. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 16 through 17.
Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after.
Listen, the same ones that wounded us will witness our healing. We must walk worthy of this calling. Let's jump to the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 7 and verse 14. The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 7 and verse 14.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land.
We're called, yes, but we must humble ourselves, pray, and return. Moving forward, we're going to the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 12. The book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 12.
Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus.
The awakened remnant will not just know they're Israel, they'll live like it. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 17, verse 25 through 26. The book of Sirach, chapter 17, verse 25 through 26.
Return unto the Lord, and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before his face, and offend less. Turn again to the Most High, and turn away from iniquity. For he will lead thee out of darkness into the light of health, and hate thou abomination vehemently.
You know who you are, so act like it. Let's get this thing together, brothers and sisters. So the next time they ask you, aren't y'all replaced? Didn't God forget the Israelites? Aren't we all spiritual Israel? Look them in the eyes and say, measure the heavens. Search the foundations of the earth. Then come and talk to me. Wake up and own your identity, not just in words, but in obedience. Break the lies. Teach your children the truth of who they are. Walk worthy. Put on your fringes. Keep his commandments and live holy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Shalom, Israel.